It's your smell. What the bird is barbecuing.
G'day jabronis, is the Verd back with you again. Yes, poor video quality is gonna be a common theme for a week or so, just because I just don't have the time to do normally. But yeah, getting into this, I apologize that these two videos are up a little bit later than they should be, but life kind of has to go first before Pokemon. But I did get these battles done. This is our Week 9 PMC match up against Sketchy Smeargle, coach of the Seattle Smeargles. Last time we played this guy, unfortunately we got a bit of unfortunate hacks that didn't work out for us, and we ended up losing, so redemption was definitely on my mind for this game. He brought most of the stuff that he brought last time. The only difference was he brought Rotom Heat and Gliscor over Scrafty and Vaporeon, basically the two Pokemon that destroyed me last time. He decided not to bring this time, expecting me to prep a lot for them, but as you can see, my team isn't that much difference either. The main thing that I changed was bringing in Gourgeist for Zapdos. Main reason I did this was because, as great as Zapdos was, I liked Gourgeist to be able to spin off Drill, and I also liked it because I'm actually bringing a different kind of Scolipede. My plan was actually bring a Spike Stack Scolipede, as his only form of hazard removal that was really good was Drill, which I can shut down with Gourgeist. I was tempted to run Cassid Berry, but I decided against it. Very similar Blastoise set to last time. Blaziken this time is Fightinium Z with Superpower, basically to make sure that I really blow back either the Hippopotas or the Vaporeon, as I didn't really expect Gliscor in this matchup, judging how I brought a lot of the Ninetales and Life Orb Hydreigon. But regardless, guys, I think without further ado, we are going to jump into this game. So basically, I knew on lead matchup, Blastoise was by far the optimal lead in this game. Reason being is just that if he led with Kyurem, Rotom, anything like that, I could really punish them. So I do lead with Ryback, and he does lead with Rotom, so that's perfect for me. It's absolutely perfect. I am just going to go straight for the Mirror Coat here, because I could have gone for Scald, but Mirror Coat's going to do an absolute crap ton. Do anything on his team. I felt like he should go Kyurem here. It made a lot of sense for him to go Kyurem, but for some reason, against a Water type, he decides to go into Hippopotas. I don't really understand that play. I really don't. It's very confusing, but regardless, he's going to allow me to get off this massive Mirror Coat against him and get off a huge amount of damage on this Hippopotas, basically now making it useless. Well, not useless, it can still come in, but I'm just going to click Scald this turn. He does decide to withdraw it, which is interesting. He decides to go into Kyurem now. So it's like, I feel like it was a turn too late to go into Kyurem. Should have done it the turn before, but I would have got really good damage off against Kyurem at that point. I'm going to fire off the Scald here on this Kyurem, and I do get a little bit fortunate on this turn as I am able to snag a burn. This is really nice, obviously, to shut down Kyurem a bit. And I was kind of contemplating what I want to do here, because I figured if he's bringing in Kyurem against Blastoise, and as he does reveal the leftovers, I'm like, okay, this might be a sub Kyurem, and that's obviously not good. I don't want to have to deal with a sub Kyurem today. That could be just really annoying. Like, it walls this Blastoise set right now. So I was like, fair enough, I'm just going to go straight out to my Ninetales, because I can get rid of the Sand, I can Encore him if he does choose to go for the substitute, and I am packing also the Moonblast this time around, so I do have a good way of damaging this Kyurem really hard, instead of the HP Rock that I had last time. He is going to go for the Earth Power though, which I am able to basically just drink with Ninetales, because I am quite a bulky spread on my Ninetales this week, so it's not too bad at all, as he is going to basically get a little bit whittled down here. At this point, I realized that, you know, I could just go for the Aurora Veil. Obviously, Aurora Veil is just so good a lot of the time. Being able to just, like, drink up hits all day is really nice. And I was, like, wondering if maybe he had... I decided to go for Moonblast instead because I was like, you know what, damage on Kyurem. Kyurem's a huge threat. I need to be able to kill this thing. Aurora Veil would be nice, but I decided against it. And, like, even if he goes into Rotom, it's chip damage on Rotom. Rotom can't really do, like, too much to my team. So I decided now to just go out to my Hydreigon, because as you guys know, Hydreigon just decimates teams, and he decides here to go for the Trick. Now I'm totally fine with this play, to be fair. I was Life Orb Hydreigon, but I'm totally fine with the Trick this turn, because he's going to get the Life Orb, I'm going to get a Choice Scarf, and Choice Scarf Hydreigon is really, really nice here. Not going to lie, there's not too many things the team really can outspeed me, but it just ensures that if he has some things with Choice Scarf, I can outspeed them now. I'm just going to fire for Dark Pulse, because at this point, like, there's not really much he can do to me as he goes to the Volt Switch, and I'm like, oh, alright, well, you know, Rotom's basically weakened to the point where it can't really do anything, so that's absolutely fantastic. And At this point, there's not really a whole lot that can come in against my Hydreigon, because I am Scarfed. Because he does choose to go into Victini, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. So I figured he might be Scarftini, but because I have a Blastoise in the back, it was so obvious to me to go into Blastoise to take on this Victini. And I realized that, you know what, if he clicks U-turn, he clicks U-turn. But he goes for Volt Strike, and he misses, which is awesome. I'm able to fire off a Dark Pulse, so we know this is a Scarftini. I get off the Dark Pulse. A little bit of hacks in my favor there, just a tiny bit. Like, it wasn't overly detrimental, because as you're going to see from this Volt Strike damage, I'm going to go from 107 here to 68, which means I would have lived 2 Bolt Strikes, meaning that I could have taken both just fine, fired off the Dark Pulse anyway, and Victini would have gone down. All it really meant was I had a little bit more health on me at that point, so there was that. But yeah, regardless, Victini is down, which is amazing, as he's going to go into his Gliscor. I'm not going to play any risks here, like I don't really need to play risky against Gliscor. I'm going to go back into my Alola Ninetales, because obviously I can Encore if he goes for Toxic or anything like that, and he can't really go for Earthquake here. It wouldn't be a good play for him, since, you know, I am a Hydreigon. And he does go for the Roost, so that's perfect for me. This is looking really strong, because obviously I can just go for Freeze Dry and get a kill here, which is just phenomenal. Being able to just get a free kill would be ideal. As he is going to withdraw, since Victini is down and the Kyurem is already kind of weakened, he doesn't really have a switch for Freeze Dry at this point in time, so he does go into his Hippopotas, setting up that Sand one last time, one last kind of hurrah for his Drill. But at this point I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to kill. Because the thing is, even though this is a last hurrah for Drill, I can just switch out my Ninetales after this, go into my Gorgeist to deal with Drill, and then go back into Ninetales afterwards, and the Hail is then going to be up. Well, basically it's the only weather that's going to be up for the rest of the game. So that was kind of the way that I looked at this game, was the fact that I could just weather the storm with my Gorgeist, take out this Drill, or at least weaken the Drill a bit, to the point where I could basically just nullify the Sand and take it out. So I'm going to first see that beautiful Life Orb that he is holding. He is going to go straight for the Rock Slide. Very interesting play. I don't know why he didn't go for Iron Head, but I'm more than okay with that, because I can take Rock Slides a lot better than Iron Heads from Drill, so that worked out ideally. And at this point, I'm in a position where I'm like, well, the worst thing he can do to me is like Life Orb, Iron Head, or Life Orb, Shadow Claw. They're probably like the 2 worst moves that he'll probably be able to do against me. As he does fire off the Shadow Claw, it does a lot of damage. I'm not going to lie, that's a lot of damage, probably because of the crit, but the crit doesn't really matter too much. At this point I realize that my best way of beating Drill is just weakening it and wearing out these Sand turns. So I go for the Seed Bomb. It does negligible damage because I'm not really running that much bulk in my Gorgeist, but it still does the job. It gets off a good amount of damage, and from there basically I know that Drill is pretty much in range of his dying to like half the things I have. So I'm going to do is go for Shadow Sneak. The reason I go for Sneak is because it's like extra damage on Drill, wears out a Sand turn. As he actually chooses a Rock Slide. I really don't know why he chose to make that play and not just go for Shadow Claw. I think he was just over-predicting a lot of the time, thinking I might preserve my Gorgeist, but at this point of the game, like, Drill's gonna die. Like, there's no way to get Sand back up, so a lot of my team is gonna be outspeed Drill. So that was never really too much of a risk for me. I felt. So I'm just gonna go for another Sneak. The reason being is because you can go for Earthquake to kill me now, which I don't really mind, because after this Life Orb damage, he will easily be in range of my Ninetales going for the Freeze Dry. So that's going to be awesome, to be fair. And that just puts me in a really strong position, because he does not have a lot of other stuff left at this point to deal with this thing. Like, Kyurem's kind of weakened, it's burned, he has the Rotom that's almost dead, and he has the Gliscor. So he doesn't really have a lot that can stop this Ninetales right now. I'm just kind of cleaning up his team, so I'm just going to drop a Freeze Dry. He has no switch in for it, so bada bing, bada boom. Now, I make one kind of bad play on the next turn that I really didn't need to make, which was when the Kyurem came in, like, I saw the health that it was at, and I'm like, you know what, 2 Moonblast should knock this thing out. In hindsight, because he had the Rotom Heat and the Gliscor in the back, I really should have just preserved my Ninetales, but I realized at this point in the game that I pretty much had it cleaned up anyway, with the amount of offense that I had, so I just decided to go for a Moonblast. And he does actually have the Iron Head, and even though he is burned, he will still be able to take me out, because this is a base 170 attack Kyurem Black. So it's easily going to be able to deal with my Ninetales, which is annoying because I would have liked Ninetales to get a few more kills, but beggars can't be choosers. Kyurem is going to take the burn damage here, and what I'm just going to do is go into my Blaziken, like I said, which basically, because I know that he's lefties, he could have Roost, but at the same time, like I said, I have Z Superpower, so I don't care. So I can just go for Protect this turn to ensure that I outspeed Kieran, even if he did have the Roost and went for it. It wouldn't matter. It'd basically be a null and void play, and this just ensures that I outspeed everything on his team now, because the Glasgow has a real Toxic Orb. The Rotom we know is Life Orb, not Choice Scarf now, because of the fact that it shoots my Hydreigon. So at this point, it's looking like Blaziken's got a good chance to clean. Now, if I got up the Aurora Veil with Ninetales, then I would have definitely been able to win, because I could have just gone for an SD last turn. That would have been really good, but it wasn't really worth the risk, I don't think. So I'm just going to go for the Flare Blitz here and knock out Kieran. I could have gone for the Z Super Power, but I'm like, you know what, like, at this point I'm taking a small bit of recoil. I'm probably going to die to Glasgow anyway, so it didn't really bother me too much at that point. So I am just going to... I know that like Glasgow can pretty much take me out from here, so I'm trying to play this one as smart as possible. So he's going to go into Glasgow, and I figure, well, he should just click Earthquake this turn. So my aim is just to get off as much damage as I can. So I'm just going to go straight for the Flare Blitz, get off a really good amount of damage because I crit him. And I was like, this is perfect. If he just goes for Earthquake here, I'm in a really good spot. But he actually roosts, and I'm like, okay, I see the game that you're trying to play here, man. You're gonna try and, you know, just storm me out. That's not gonna happen, because I am gonna, you know, make a bit of a smarter play here, which is just going for the SD. And the reason why SD is a really smart play here is because if he goes for another Roost, it means that I can get off a huge amount of damage, and he can't just continually roost it off, because he'll be taking more than he can roost, meaning that he'll have to, meaning he's gonna have to kill me, and I can put him in range to where my Scarfed Hydreigon can just clean, get itself 3 more fantastic kills, which would be great for us. So 3 kills overall for Hydreigon is basically the way I'm looking at this, because I should be able to fire off this Flare Blitz here, get off a huge amount of damage on the Glasgow, because obviously I'm at +2 now, and he should just go for Earthquake here to knock me out, and he does, so perfect. Like, I don't mind losing Blaziken here. Like, it's been an okay mon this season, it's been kind of meh, but the best thing I think that is going to happen now is my Hydreigon Madusa is going to pick up another 3 kills in this game, which means that Madusa is currently rocking 10 kills for the Frogadiers this season. It is my leading kill mon, which has been pretty awesome. Like, you know, I'm not going to lie, it's been a pretty great mon for me. He actually makes a kind of interesting play, basically going for the Rotom play. I guess it was just because he was expecting maybe a Draco, thinking that was the only way he could knock out this Gliscor, but clearly from the way he was taking Flare Blitzes, it means that he was obviously a physically defensive one, so I know that my max special attack Hydreigon is going to be able to knock out this Gliscor here, and that is going to mean we wrap this game up a nice and tight 3-0. Wasn't like ridiculous, but yeah, it was a solid win for us. We now go to, I believe we are 6-2. Yeah, 6-2. God knows what differential, but regardless, we basically clinched playoffs now. Even if we lose our last 2 games, we will be in playoffs. So that is fantastic. Really happy about that. So awesome! Hooray! Hooray for the Frogadiers. If you guys enjoyed this, like this video, subscribe to the channel, all that good shit. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm going to be out this bitch. My name's The Verb. Catch you later, bros.